Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Taryn. Welcome. It is Sunday, May 7th. I hope everybody's had a great week. It's been another week of crazy around here. I am so glad that prom is over. I am exhausted based on the expense and the time. I told the girls, all three of them, that they're going to have to get married at the courthouse or something. Oh my gosh, I'm terrified of weddings now, and what might be involved in that. Sheesh. Let's see. On Thursday, if you've watched the Glove Box Confession video, you already know, but Dax left on Thursday. He's doing the annual training with the State Guard, and he will be back sometime this afternoon, I guess. Actually, he left on Wednesday because he had his dates confused in his head. He thought Wednesday was the 4th, and so he went on Wednesday and was a day early and had to turn around and come back home and go back on Thursday. I feel like he's probably been the butt of jokes all weekend for being 24 hours overly prepared, but that's okay. I took my turn at making fun of him before he left. Let's see. You may notice we have some new guests. This is my parents. This is like a 6-foot tall figure. Cardboard cutout. It's behind this cabinet. It goes all the way down to the floor. At Christmas last year, my parents had told us, well, they told us well in advance, probably in October. My mom told me that they were going to be in Colorado at Christmas with my niece and her husband. They had rented a cabin, and my parents were going to go up there with my brother and sister-in-law and all of them to do Christmas up there. And so the kids were very upset about it when I told them, and they've never had Christmas without their grandparents, so they were upset, and they told me to tell my mom that all they wanted was a cardboard cutout so that they could put it in the living room at Christmas time like they were here. So when my parents showed up for Thanksgiving last year, the smart alecks that they are, I come from a long line of it, they brought this cardboard cutout. My dad painted a very buxom woman and a muscled up man on this cardboard, and they printed out pictures of their faces and glued on there. So I can't bring myself to throw it away, so now it resides here. It's where my crazy comes from, I'm telling y'all. Let's see what else. When I was out here getting ready to hem, because I had to hem all of the prom dresses I was going to do it on Friday morning, but I wound up not being able to do it until Friday night because on Thursday night our washing machine broke. I don't know how Dax manages to plan to be out of town. I don't know how he knows that stuff's going to break and he's going to be gone. Wyatt and I worked on it on Friday, did everything that you're supposed to do for the code that was on it, and it's still, it's like hanging up in the middle of a cycle, and it'll pump all the water out, but then when you get to a different point in the cycle, it's telling me that the pump doesn't work. But then if I put it on just to drain, it works fine. I think the problem is probably a computer problem in the control panel on it. So I may go sometime this next week and buy a washer that doesn't have any of that computer stuff on it. I only need knobs on it to say turn off and turn on. I don't use any of the fancy settings, so I don't know what we're going to do. Anyway, we had that fun. So Wyatt and I spent most of the day on Friday. I spent most of the early part of the day, and then when he got home from school, he was trying to help in everything we did did not get it working. So, well, I guess it sort of works. So I was out here late Friday night hemming prom dresses and stressed to the max and everything. But before I got started, I needed to clean off a little bit around my sewing machine in order to do that. Not that you could tell right now if you were here, it looks hideous. But I came across these. And it's 2 different sizes of a snag repair tool. Now, I've been bragging on Kimberly for sending me my Snag Nabbit, how much I loved it, how much I use it, and why did I go so long without having one and using one, because it's wonderful, and how grateful I am to her for sending it. I freaking own 2 of them in an unopened box. The package has not been opened. How sad is it that someone has to send you something that you already own before you actually use it? What the heck? I don't get it. I guess I'm that kind of special. I don't know. Anyway, I guess let's get on to cross stitch. That's really what we're here about, right? I have in my trusty little Snoopy notebook where I write down what I do that I worked on my linen and threads piece. And I don't write anything down until I actually work on it. I saw a video just yesterday. No, it's while I was out here Friday, him in dresses. I had this little easel out here that I set my phone on and I played Floss tube videos while I was him in dresses. And in one of those videos, and I cannot, who was it? Because she spoke such words of truth. She said that she planned on doing something, and then she said, no, she doesn't make plans. Because when you make plans, God will prove to you that you do it His way, and that He's the one who makes plans, that you have ideas. And that is absolutely perfect for me, because every time I try to make plans, it doesn't work. So I'm following her lead, and from now on I'm going to have ideas. But I don't write anything down until I actually work on it, because if I make plans, the washing machine will break, or the hot water heater, or whatever. So it says in here that I worked on this. So I guess I will believe it. But I do not remember working on it. So, oh, I did work on it. I got January finished. Just kidding. That's not true at all. So, here's where I am now. Maybe I worked on this. Maybe that's new. Down through here. I'm really not sure. But that's where it is right now. And somebody had suggested it, and I may go and do it working on February, because it goes more quickly, and then coming back so that I can see some changes, you know, actually feel like I'm getting where, and then coming back and finishing January. And I might do that. But mostly this week has been Stitch Mania. It has been a Stitch Mania week, so that's really been my main focus. In this week, excuse me, this week for Maynia has been all new starts. Next week won't be. Next week there might be a couple of new starts, but I think most of it's going to be working on things that I started last year that aren't done. But my first one came out of this magazine, Celebrations to Cross Stitch and Craft, from autumn of 1992. It's a leisure arts magazine. And I am working on this witch. And this is where I got with her. And it's the halfway point in this pattern's right around in here somewhere, and this is working from there kind of upwards. I have no idea. It's a cream colored Ada that I'm working on. I have no idea on count. Probably 14 if I had to guess. It was just fabric in my stash that I just pulled out and went to town, I guess. As you can see, I think that she'll probably fit on one side, but I have a giant piece of fabric here. Not quite sure why I felt like I needed that much, but maybe I will. Maybe I did something crazy and measured ahead and planned, which is quite unlike me, frankly. Sorry, I have an avalanche of things over here. Day 2. I worked on this little bunny. It's a kit. It's a Busela kit. And I will not put in any of the lettering here. I'm just doing it for the little picture because I thought the bunny in that, I thought that little bird was adorable. So why not stitch a whole pattern because you think a bird in it is adorable. And this is as far as I got on it. This little piece right here, I think it's like down at the bottom of her face is what I'm working on. I am finding though that each day I'm hating to move on to the next one. I really am enjoying working on most of these. Day 3 was this, and this is one of the kits that I ordered from off eBay that comes from China. And me and my big mouth, see, here's one more, the rule of plans. I had said that I don't like the M down here. I want it up here, and the hands, I want the DS. I don't like them with just the one letter down like that. It bothers me. Maybe I'm a grammar snob, I don't know, but there's no place to even put a dash in there. You know, they're one-syllable words. Come on. So, anyway, in my video, me and my big mouth said, you know, but I won't have to worry about that. I have plenty of time to decide what I'm going to do on that. Wrong, because here's the middle of the pattern, right here on the M, and I wasn't going to go the other way and just be stitching a whole bunch of white on white with the snowman. So, I moved the M up. I didn't do it right across from here since the letters are already kind of wonky. I still tried to keep it a little bit down, and I started filling in I'm just kind of filling in with the colors around it, but like this blue is the same shade as the letters. So I'm going to have to pick a different color and substitute there. And with the DS in hands up here, I'm going to run into the same problem in one of those, so I'll have to switch. This one, before I put it away, and maybe sometime today I'll be able to do it, I am going to come and finish what part of the heart goes around this letter so that I don't pick it up in 6 months and go, what in God's name have I done? Because I won't remember. So what was that? Day 1, 2, 3, 4? So day 5 was here. I did started the mason jar lineup, I think it's called, by dimensions. I love this. I love how it looks. I got this far. I didn't have much time in the morning. But I'm thinking that all of the mason jars are done with the blend of 2 threads. And all this stuff, I bought the kit, and I'm using the stuff that was in the kit. And the kit comes with the floss separated like this, and it goes, you see it's just kind of run through there on the back to keep it in there in place and snug. So when you pull out your 2 threads and you blend them, there is no place on here to put them if you don't use all the thread. So, because I won't be able to keep track of a bunch of blended threads in a whole bunch of places, what I did when I got to the end of, trying to cover the pattern, when I got to the end of where I was sewing or stitching, I took my blended thread and I ran it through the symbol, right here by the symbol. Those are the colors that go there, so that next time I need it, it's there. And I will do that for all of these blended colors if I have any floss left over when I'm moving on, just to try to keep track of it, maybe keep a little bit of order, instead of having them just floating around in the bottom of my very fancy project bag. So that I really like it, and I really want to work on it, but I will have to be in the right mood to blend the threads, and I just will. I like it, so I need to do it. Day 6, let's see, 1, 2. This is day 5, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Whatever the next day was, I don't even know where I am anymore. I started this one. And it's really cute. And I am doing it on a very tiny, even weave. And I'm trying to do it at 1/1. And I got the first part of this border up here done. I put it in, got all the way over here, ready to come back, and I found, because there are 2 spaces, there are 2 X's, and it's hard to even see that that's 2. 2 that you stitch on, 2 open, 2 stitch, 2 open, all the way across. I got all the way over here and noticed that somewhere back here I had 3 empty spaces. So I pulled it all out and got back to here, and I stitched all the way over here, was coming back with my crosses, got to here, which was my beginning point. I'm 6 stitches away from being done, and realized that right here I skipped 1. So I either have to rip it out again, or I need to, it's a huge piece of fabric, I need to just move down and start it over. So that one's on my naughty list. I'm not in a hurry to get back to it. I'm irritated with it now. In my start for yesterday, I was able to get quite a bit done, because 3 girls getting their makeup done in about an hour apiece left me a lot of time sitting there. And I didn't stitch the whole time I was sitting there. I went to the dollar store and bought a bunch of crap that I probably didn't need, but it's what you do when you're bored, right? And it's right next door to where they were getting their hair done, so it was no big deal. So I started on this one, and I decided not to do it on the black fabric. My kitchen is done mostly in red and green. Red is my favorite color. And it's not done in Christmas stuff. My mother-in-law bought me a set of dishes with apples, so, and it's got like a green checked border around the plates and stuff, so that's my red and green. So I don't want to do it on this. I looked at maybe a green variegated on the black, and I really didn't like the way it looked. So I looked through what I had, and I decided on, it's DMC 4205. It's a red variegated out of one of these, the holiday collection. from DMC. I hope that this is enough, because if it's not, then I have to go buy another one of those packages. If I can find it, I bought that one on clearance. So, I may have set myself up for a bad thing, but it wouldn't be the first time. Heaven knows. But I'm just doing it on a cream colored fabric. And one of the reasons I picked this one, I have another red variegated that I used to do the All You Need Is Love one. But where it goes to white, I didn't think it would show up good enough. And this one doesn't have any white in it. So, this is where I've gotten to. I am off one. This E and D should be up one higher. So I'm trying to contemplate, because where I realized it is in these letters right here. They should scoop down a little more than they do. And so now what I'm doing is trying to figure out, is it going to affect anything else in the pattern? Because if it's not, I'm going to leave it. Because I would have to pull out the E and the D, maybe some of this, all of this, and if it doesn't affect anything else, then it's absolutely not worth it. You know, to keep like the border in line, all I have to do is add an extra stitch or an extra space or whatever along one of these to keep everything going like it should. So, although I did notice this, because I was looking at this, they didn't put the bottom line across on their E here. It looks just like the F back here. And I don't want my coffee to be verfrüht. So I did put the line on the E in mine. So anyway, that's where I've gotten to. I really liked it, working on it, because just like that, you notice it's so quick, and you can read the word, and you know, it feels like a finish, like something's getting accomplished. So that was my starts. And like I said on my Glovebox Confessions video, I have this overwhelming urge right now to buy, and I'm really trying not to, because goodness knows I just showed you all of those new starts. I still have a tub full of things that are kitted up and waiting, and there's no reason to go buy anything else. But I did. I bought a little, like a Mill Hill kit kind of thing off of Facebook, one of the destashing groups. And I was in Hobby Lobby for other stuff, and I bought this because I couldn't resist. Bed, sweet bed. Yes, that is so me. And it comes with everything in it. It even comes with a little wisp of fiber fill or whatever to put in the little mini pillow, but that is absolutely me. And I bought, I guess you can't call it bought really, it's on off Listia, just a whole bunch of ribbon scraps, because for finishing smalls, which like I've said before has become my new obsession, those are awesome because you only need a little tiny piece of ribbon, and I'll take other people's cast-offs. And also off of Listia, I got just a couple of little pieces of fabric. It's not cross-stitch fabric, it's just fabric. But when it came in the mail, I opened the package it was in, and it was shipped in this. This cracked me up. And what an ingenious idea. And it was so funny to open a box of the Spaghetti Classics in the mail. But what a great way to ship, what a great way to recycle. I love it. I love it. So I think that's all. I dyed a piece of fabric last weekend, probably on Sunday, and I forgot to bring it out here. I haven't decided if I like it or not, so that's probably why it's still sitting in the house. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I needed to tell you that you need to know. But I don't think so. Like I said, for Mania next week, it's going to be a lot of, most of the week is things that I didn't get done last year, which is good. It'll be good to work on them. And I think I'm going to do, since it's 2017, 17 days of Mania. I pulled a couple more because I already had the 15 days written out, you know, so that I knew what I started last year. I already had it on my calendar. So I'm looking, because I have this week's stacked up on the floor down here, where I've already pulled it out, because I carry all of my stuff around in this backpack that I'm working on. And so, like today, I will take all of that stuff, and I will put it in my backpack to work on it during the week. And I'll put them in there in order of days and everything so that I can keep up with where I should be. But I pulled a couple more to get me, because I had already planned through the 15. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not planning. I had already ideated to the 15th, so I pulled 2 more out of my kitted projects for the 16th and 17th. So we'll see how that goes. I guess that's probably about it. I hope everybody has a great week and that you get lots of stitching done. And I guess we're just going to keep on trucking around here. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.